So now we're into our academic literature search because we've got our base level understanding. We're on Google Scholar now, and I've highlighted some things that came up when I typed in the question into Google Scholar. So what have we got? Associations between perfectionism and symptoms of anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, and depression in young people, a meta-analysis. So you'll notice the word meta-analysis. You may know what a meta-analysis is. If not, it is basically a statistical method which takes lots and lots and lots of individual psychological studies and combines the results into one meta-analysis and then presents them in a single research paper. So those are really, really useful because they are representative of a much larger sample size, essentially, than one single study would be. So if it's a meta-analysis, that's always a green flag and a tick. Second one, where my cursor is here, smartphone intervention targeting repetitive negative thinking in young people with depression and anxiety. Pilot randomized control trial. Very, very wordy question. Don't get too bogged down by the wording, but the two things I've highlighted here are for the following reasons. Smartphone intervention. So this is an intervention study. It's not a study about, why do people have depression or about the causes necessarily. It is an intervention study, which is very important for our question, which is how can we fix depression and anxiety? We need interventions, we need treatments. Intervention is just the psychological, sciencey, fancy way of saying treatment, which normally is therapy or medication. So if it's an intervention study, that's something to look out for. And then secondly, pilot randomized control trial. So a randomized control trial, or an RCT, again, you may know this, you may not, but I'll explain it anyway. A randomized control trial is generally considered to be the gold standard of evidence because its conditions are such that there is less room for bias and the results are more statistically valid, more clinically valid, and just generally more scientifically sound, because I won't go into the details, but it's not based on observation. So if you see observational trial or observational study, then that's less scientifically sound than a randomized control trial, which controls, essentially, a randomized control trial controls for variables in order to isolate what exactly is going on in this intervention, in this case a smartphone intervention, that might be improving depression and anxiety.